You heard of this Tommy Robinson guy?
Occasionally, a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah. You're way too young to remember this, but back when I was getting started, there were not a lot of people criticizing Islam, and there was this young guy. They called him a football hooligan. But keep in mind, that's not what you and I know as football. It's some weird thing where they basically go around the field smelling flowers and stuff like that. And the score, if anyone scores during the entire game, the score will be like 1-0, and the crowd will lose their minds for like 20 minutes anytime someone scores. Anyway, point is, he was known as a football hooligan, but that was not. That was more. That's what we would call soccer. And everyone just said he's this terrible, 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 evil guy because he started something called the English Defense League. And he was saying, hey, there's some stuff going on. And he was pointing out what was going on with the grooming gangs and so on. And everyone spent years just calling him racist. And it was some of the most insane stuff I'd ever seen. They would have him on a show, and he would break down his entire experience and what he had witnessed and what was going on. And they would just say, so, as far as your racist views, and he would go, what did I just say that has anything to do with race? What? And then they would just go on calling him racist and so on. Anyway, tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of people hated him for a long time. And now all of a sudden, this dude's got millions of people, millions of people rallied around him.
Of course, you know what they'd say. It must all be due to his amazing amount of racism.
Yeah, in other words, everyone's becoming racist. You know what's interesting though? If you just go back 5-10 years and so on, every description of him would be far right extremist racist. Tommy Robinson says this and so on. Now they're not doing that as much. When I'm looking at the headlines, they've kind of calmed down, and I think they're realizing that it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Just calling everyone racist, it just doesn't work. Anyway, hey, so Tommy tweeted this. It says the Guardian reported 110,000 at our London rally today, yet literally had their own helicopter showing the millions of patriots. Legacy media proving again they'll just lie to your face for their own agenda. This is why nobody trusts them. We are the media now. So, The Guardian, that's one of the UK super trustworthy papers that for some weird reason no one trusts at all. They reported 110,000 people showed up. 110,000 big ones. We're going to look at
I don't
this.
know about you, but my
Good.
knee-jerk reaction, 110,000 is actually pretty decent, but there's definitely more.
Yeah, 110,000 people would be a lot. And according to British leaders, that would be a lot of racists. Oh my goodness, I can't believe we have 110,000 racists. But let's go ahead and check out this crowd. As Tommy pointed out, this is their footage. This is the footage that The Guardian used to say that there are 110,000 people. Now keep in mind, guys, 110,000 people, that would be a little more people than you'd see at a packed out football stadium. And I mean like American football, because I don't know if anyone shows up at these, well, you got these soccer hooligans, I guess, but I don't know how many people shows up to soccer games. But American football, you'll have stadiums, college, professional, and so on. They'll have 60, 70, 80,000 people and so on. So, but keep in mind, a stadium's pretty big, but there's a big empty spot in the middle, right? So it's a ribbon of people around the thing, and that'll be 60, 70, 80,000 people. So according to The Guardian, the people who showed up to Tommy's Unite the Kingdom rally it's basically a bit more people than you'd see at an American football game. See if this looks like the number of people a little bit more than the number of people you'd see at an American football game. This is the footage that The Guardian posted when they said it's 110,000 people. Here we go. Okay, so look, so there's some big circle thing here. Don't know what that is. One of their big giant roundabouts. And then you've already got a ton of people around that. So that would be a lot of people just there, right? But let's go ahead and look at this. You go down this road. Again, this is the Guardian's footage.
Are they just not? I mean, seriously, if they're going to lie about the numbers so badly, then yeah, no. At least they cut the footage eventually, right? They
It
wouldn't
gets
just
worse.
keep going.
It gets worse.
They just wouldn't. They just
It
want to
gets
keep
worse.
showing after they lied to everyone, right?
Look, I mean, look at this. They're still going. You can't see that. There's a shadow there, but that's all packed too. And then all those trees. And then you're still going out there.
Jeez.
And look at that. And then look. And then they're coming from all different directions there. Look at that. Yeah, guys,
My
what does
goodness.
everyone else think? Because that looks like about at least 20 packed football stadiums full of people that we've
Or I
seen
said,
there.
slightly more than a football
Ooh.
show. Just
Yeah,
slightly.
I mean, that right there, just what you see on this screen right now, is because, again, a football stadium, a packed football stadium is still a ton of empty space because you have a giant field in the middle. That already looks like significantly more people. But again, let's just scroll back and all the way back here. And my goodness. 110,000 people. My goodness, Guardian. You guys are a freaking joke.
I mean, if this was it, if this were right here, this picture was all they showed, I'd still say they were underestimating the number of people, but at least it'd be closer. As soon as you start going down the road, it's gone. They blew that number out so far. And you can even see to like the left and the right, there's still people that are off the screen. Looks like there might be even another road to the left there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, everything we see is jam-packed. Everything we see is jam-packed. And let me go ahead and scroll through this again. But so we've got all this here, ton of people here, and we don't see everyone. We just see what they're showing us. And then all the streets all along the way, jam-packed. We can't even see the side streets and stuff like that. They may be packed too for all we know. But we get all the way down here. Again, look, you got side streets there. It looks like people are on the side streets as well.
Yeah.
And then down here, and then all up under these trees, and then all here, and then they blow out wide, and my goodness. That's a lot of people.
Who's the camera guy? Who's the camera guy? He needs to get fired. It's like he
What?
completely undid everything they did because they're like, oh, there's only 110,000 people here. Let's look at the camera.
Yeah, dude, just next time, Guardian, just take a picture of one little part of the crowd and then say it's 110,000. So Magical Idea says, I guess they mean 110,000 100,000 per traffic light. Yeah, that'd be more realistic.
I could believe that.
We have Revco saying that's whole London. It does look like all of London. Jeremy says, update 2.6 billion at least. Yeah, that's good. That's more realistic.
That is crazy.
Adam says 5,000. That's true. Probably closer to 5,000. So anyway. Yeah, David says a tad bit larger than a Super Bowl crowd. Yeah, significantly larger than a Super Bowl crowd. And let's see. That's way more. Someone said 300,000 and then someone else said that's way more than 300,000. Yeah. I would say at least a million. Again, it looks we don't even see everyone. I would say at least a million. Looks like about 2 million. That many people.
I think someone commented they The police reported 3 million or something like that. I saw that at one point in the chat.
Oh yeah, where?
But yeah.
No, we've got this. 300 billion trillion.
I don't think it's up that high, but at this point, the Guardian's estimates seem to be about that right. I mean, that is just so far off of the actual. Their guess was so far off of the actual number.
What's
Confused
up,
me
Al?
for a second while I was taking over your channel.
Well, hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. Blessed by God.
We're just checking out this this footage here.
How
Yeah,
people
that's
need to do math
insane.
better.
I was watching the camera go, and it's like, how does it keep going?
Oh, I know
And
what's going on. The
especially
people
for,
in the people in
I'm
the
sure
camera
this is
booth are
like,
like, stop showing, and it keeps going.
Yeah, you
It's like,
should
no,
have
no,
done
there's a
this.
little bit more.
Look, Guardian, you should have just taken a picture right here and said, see, 110,000 people, and it's a little, there's some people around there, but about 110,000 people. Just stuck with that. Instead, you just let the camera keep going. My goodness. Once again. Oh, man. That's a lot of people there.
just as a point of clarification, are these supposed to be all like alt far right people? Because if that's like far right or something, that's a
Y-
pretty big extreme.
Yeah, the idea of calling something, and this is the problem with like the media calling anything that is like basically right, like it's to the right of center, they now call far right and so on. But the idea of having a far right was that there's an extreme fringe. Same thing with the far left. There's an extreme fringe that is not necessarily representative of what regular people on the left believe and so on. So I think that's why I'm seeing them like tone down their language in their headlines and so on, is they're just realizing, wait a minute, we can't label everyone far right, or it kind of takes away any sort of meaning of far right.
Yeah, that's crazy. I hope they have a good amplification system.
I mean, if they're going to call all these people racist because they're there to see Tommy, then it seems the UK have a bit of a problem.